Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission.
And so now I thought I was on fire before, but now I'm like running
Watch
with
out,
everything
world.
I have
Yeah.
to reach women and reach souls in general, but particularly women, to empower them to become every single thing that God has called them to be from the understanding of their identity in who Christ is.
Yes.
That Satan would stop robbing them of their role in the world, in society, in the church, by lies that they're
Yes.
believing that God never said about them.
That's right. Yeah.
And so that's the effort that She Saves a Nation is going to be moving toward. And I'm really excited because this year, when we return in September, we're going to be doing week-long programming and ministry with them to empower them through leadership, mentorship, health,
Kenya?
hygiene in Kenya.
Yes.
Going back to Laikipia County, we're going to be empowering them through mentorship, trauma healing, because a lot of people as well, and that's one thing I would love to see here in the gospel movement for the unreached, is dealing with trauma.
Yes. That's
There's
a
so
huge
much
aspect.
brokenness.
Mhm.
And a lot of times they can't ever walk in victory even after receiving Christ because they're so broken from their trauma that they stay maimed and they're not whole.
Yes.
And so we're going to be doing that for our girls in Kenya, but we're also going to be expanding. And so there are more girls in Samburu County that we're going to be ministering to and providing sanitary products for them. And female genital mutilation and early childhood marriage are prevalent in this area. And we're also going to be, as God makes provision, expanding to another 100 girls in Uganda.
Okay, you mentioned female genital mutilation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not a word we typically talk about
Not
in
a
the
term you
States.
hear every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's very prevalent.
I was going to say, at the risk of being too detailed, perhaps, what do you mean by that?
Right, absolutely. So firstly, it's something that's prevalent in Africa,
Okay.
over 30 countries in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. And to kind of state it as safely as possible.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you have to be on it, but that's what we want to talk about, the realities and needs
what
that
young
are occurring.
women as young as 9 years old to 18 years old are experiencing, but it's the partial or total removal of the female genitalia
Okay.
for tribal, religious, ritualistic justifications, but it's a violation to the human rights of the woman. And so many women are now subject to cysts and infections and even death because of what's being done to their bodies involuntarily.
Mm.
And so we're praying that we can, infiltrate this space with the gospel and with a ministry to the women that will encourage their hearts. What I picked up here in Thailand was that the spirit of women is broken.
Yes.
Their spirits are broken. They don't have any hope when they get up in the morning. What am I living for? And so that's one thing I tried to encourage them when I shared with them from John 4 on the encounter with Jesus and the woman from Samaria, is that Jesus is, he's that well that never runs dry. He's that living water where once you have taken a drink of the living water that he provides, you will never thirst again.
Amen.
So you don't have to look for that happiness in a husband or, in in another person or in financial or social status. And even if the worst atrocities have been committed against you, you can still have purpose. You can still operate in identity, in your identity in Christ, and you can lift other women up to realize their identity and to experience transformation and wholeness in him.
Amen.
It's so possible.
Yes.
And women who there are some women who will never be able to have children. There are some women that have been violated so terribly that, they don't have much to look forward to, in the temporal. But God has given them a hope for eternity.
Amen.
And so that's the encouragement that we want to provide. And I really picked that up here in Thailand, and I can't wait to come back to minister here. But I also want to take that same enthusiasm and fervor back to Kenya to our girls.
Yes, I love that.
Missions Pulse. Know God's heart, join his mission. This podcast is powered by Within Reach Global. Subscribe, watch, and listen on YouTube today. Visit missionspulse.com.